sunlight, you actually probably want a little bit of yellow, you know, in with things too. That's too much, but I'm exaggerating. But real sunlight, that's a little bit better. Like just a little bit of yellow, because you're getting that warm tone from the sun shining directly on things. And again, it's like, wow, that's too yellow. Yeah, don't worry about it. Go back in and paint it white later. But you want that. Now, the thing, when stuff is in shadow and it's daylight, what's hitting it? Not the sun, but the reflection of the sky all around it, which is blue. So you want the gray to be kind of a blue gray, because that's really what shadows look like. If you go look at Monet's or Cézanne's, any of those landscape paintings that are at LACMA or the Norton Simon, you will see that when they're painting people outside in shadow, the shadows, sometimes they get really crazy and they really make them blue, like out of the tube blue, like that would be. But you want to do it just a little bit cooler, as they say. Cooler means bluer, and warmer means, that's a different lecture, and I'm not going to do that right now, about like what the definition of warm and cool. I will talk about that when I'm done painting and shooting this video. Now, last thing I'm going to do before we go, this is really simple. I've got a blue umbrella, I've got an orange umbrella, but it's like, it's not orange, it's like a peachy umbrella, right? It's like more pinkish orange than anything else. So I'm going to go in with, again, my blue and some white and do this guy. Needs more blue. Ah, too much blue. And that happens all the time. You're just like making spontaneous decisions like, ah, screwed that one up. Okay, it's a little bluer than that. There. And one side is, this part's darker with this side. Okay. So I'm just going to put blue and just go boom, like that. That's the shadowy part right there. Now for my orange, now we don't have orange. Okay, it's not a color that you have available. So you have to mix red and yellow, which I'm assuming you guys kind of, some of this color theory stuff I'm giving you, like you probably learned it in grade school. You know, like how to, like basic color mixing, like red and yellow makes orange, you know, blue and green makes turquoise, things like that. If you have any questions about specific color mixing, I'm happy to talk about that. But again, this is just for the actual physical painting part of the demo. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, so I've got this peachy looking thing. So I'm going to take a little red, take a little yellow, and there's orange. And it's really not that orange. It's more like, this is a warm fire engine red, and this is more like, you know, if you use lipstick, this is more like MAC, like the awesome MAC lipsticks. Really, it's like magentas. If you go to the MAC makeup counter, not that I do that much shopping there, not anymore. But that's basically, that range of warm to cool reds are classic lipstick tones. Now there's going to be a lot of white in here too. And if, seriously, I do this all the time. If you want to match, quote unquote, match the color, I mix it like this, and I'll just hold it up to the thing. Like, does that look close? Yeah, it's not bad. It needs a little more white. Maybe a little more red. There we go. There, not bad. And again, I didn't even bother to change brushes at this point. Like a lot of you guys are working with smaller canvases where there's more detail. Please feel free to go down to, and when I'm done, I just stick my brush in the Turpenoid and leave it so I can clean it later. Okay, but if you guys, you know, want to get small and do the detail work, like you can totally get into that too if you like. You know, like this. And there's a little bit, it's lighter on the side facing the sun, which is coming from over here. Oh shit, I didn't even do the trees. Gotta do the trees, right? Okay. Now the trees, when you guys are doing, a lot of you have landscapes, this will be the last thing I do. Trees are green, right? Well, they're kind of, they are, but they really aren't. They're not like green, like this kind of green, right? They're kind of brownish. Well, this is where another example where it's really good to have the underpainting show through. So I'm going to go for a big brush because they're big trees. Bling. Ugh, God, that brush is toast. Yuck. Throw that one away. Okay. Now I'm going to go with this green. It's a very cool green. I want to add a little bit of yellow to it, so it's like a more of a tree green. But I'm just going to put that in on top of here. And this is where I do want it to be transparent, right? Because I want to see that brown coming through. The brown creates the illusion, you know, that you mixed brown with the green. You didn't actually do that. You've got the green on top. But this is one of the beauties of oil paint, and it's really difficult to do this with acrylic. So if you do this with oil, and also the great thing about oil is once you're starting working with the dry brush, like you know, you can make things look like leaves like this, like. Like this up here, see? That's still a little candy colored for me, frankly. You know, the green, I'm like, yeah, so maybe I'll throw in a little bit of this brown crap just to see what happens. It's a little bit better. But again, at this point, I'm not trying to finish the tree. I'm just trying to get a general sense of color. Like, is that too brown? Well, no. You know, I mean, it's not that you know, the tree is not that green. These are dry. This is not the jungle, okay? Some of you guys are painting, like this is more like a jungle or a more tropical. Some of you guys are painting stuff where the colors really are vibrant and yellow-green and all that kind of cool stuff. And in California, honestly, most of these things, you know, they're dry, they're brown, like oak trees, sycamores. The greens are really subtle, like this sycamore tree